boy Segovia, back with another one. Today's video, we got a wild mashup of some of the craziest TikToks happening all over the world. You guys ready to get into it? Let's have some fun today. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
I'm gonna tell you this, bro. My theory on all that shit is I think that over time, bro, we done got disconnected with a lot of the fucking entities and magical shit that was going on in prior times. That's why niggas have so many stories of this shit. This shit existed. It's just like, bro, everything is watered down. You get what I'm saying? Everything. Our knowledge, our chakras, our soul, our energy, everything is watered down. These niggas really used to be saying some shit back in the day. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like we done got so disconnected from that shit that it's just not as prevalent. Like, only certain motherfuckers is tapped in enough to even see certain shit. Or you gotta be in certain regions to even see certain shit, because it's not as prevalent. Like, back in the day, I think all that shit existed. Dragons, magic, you know what I'm saying? All that shit. Niggas was practicing that shit. Like,
I've had a ton of encounters. I'll just say this. I've talked to some of the most respected exorcists in the country. I've been working with them and things have happened, like really scary. And if that's happening and that's real, which is more real than anything I've ever experienced, then the other is definitely real too.
If there are supernatural forces that are evil acting on people, which there are, and I've experienced them personally, then that's proof of God. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's not faith to me anymore. It's fact. There's just no other way to look at it.
Something bizarre is happening in Switzerland. Take a look at this. During the opening of the world's longest railway tunnel, they acted out what looked like a portal ritual in front of world leaders. The media labeled this as an abstract performance, but few know what it actually means. It begins with workers entering the tunnel, then out of nowhere they fall to their death, symbolizing sacrifice. And as they do, hands reach up and drag them down into the abyss. But here is where things get even darker. Right after, mysterious spiritual entities emerge, followed by a horned goat creature that many believe resembles Baphomet. And the most disturbing thing about this is the end, as world leaders celebrate and applaud. The Bible actually warns about these things, when it says people exchange the truth about God for a lie, and worship and serve created things rather than the creator. And that's exactly what makes this ceremony so unsettling. They offer sacrifice to manifest a spiritual awakening. But Jesus doesn't require a sacrifice for his love and protection. Instead, he became the sacrifice by dying on the cross for us. So what do you think this ceremony was really trying to communicate? Whether this was intentional or simply artistic expression, the symbolism tells a disturbing story. And this is only a fraction of what happened during this ceremony. I broke down the entire performance on my YouTube channel.
Sacrifice, artistic or not, it's evil. Like, why do you gotta have hands dragging you down to the abyss? Like, that's unnecessary.
Tell your soul, you are allowed to live forever. And these people that are called youngins, rookies, new booties, like I was, had no idea that these people still live.
LeBron James going to the Philadelphia 76ers was a massive Kobe ritual because he passed Kobe for scoring in Philadelphia. What are the odds of that he passed Kobe for scoring in Philadelphia? And then a day later, Kobe passed away. And there is more to this, because this ritual doesn't stop there, because LeBron James is currently 41 years old. Kobe passed away at the age of 41 years old. And obviously Kobe was born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And it doesn't stop there with the connections, because LeBron James spent 8 seasons of his career in Los Angeles. And obviously Kobe Bryant was known for wearing the jersey number 8 and 24 in his career for the Lakers.
2 times.
So what are the odds of that? It is all connected for a reason, as LeBron James is currently 41 years old, entering his 24th season, and now he goes to the place where he broke, or I should say passed, Kobe in scoring. This is all one massive ritual, and it is by the numbers every single time.
I mean, this is too much. It's just too much to not right in our face.
All of these sports leagues are scripted. People need to wake up and realize exactly what is going on. And speaking of 8, LeBron James just so happened to sign with Philadelphia for $8 million. Also pay attention to this post right here. Oh yeah, and the fact that Kobe's dad wore the jersey number 23 for Philly.
When you were a kid, you saw an alien or something, or a spaceship or something?
I'll say this, and I'm going to stand my ground to this.
Go
yes.
ahead. You did?
I did.
Where was he from?
Nobody believed me
I
then
believe you.
and don't believe me
I
now.
want to believe. Wait, I got to tell you something. Why are all these spaceships going somewhere where no one, well, only Kendrick Lamar can see them?
Why don't they visit the president?
You know, why don't they just make themselves known to us? What did you see? Share with me, please.
It's just something I can't really describe because it just sounds like, okay, you seen a dart go past. That shit don't make sense. No.
Were you high?
No, I wasn't. I was 6 years old.
Oh.
Words can't describe what, it was just a surreal moment, but.
You didn't get abducted or anything.
I probably did. That's probably why I'm doing music right now. Who knows?
Hey, I met a shapeshifter. No big deal.
Right.
I don't talk about it.
Right. I probably shouldn't even be talking about it. That's why they don't want nobody to believe me. You know?
Kendrick, you seem like a real solid person.
If you go on TikTok right now, you type in tunnels, truckers. They have these whole civilizations where you drive in to a tunnel system and it goes throughout the United States.
Oh, shit. Wow.
So
is it like the Hyperloop?
I mean, kind of like that, but it's more of like a network to where they move and they transport stuff.
Why would you need that? Like, we got trains.
You got trafficking.
Damn.
there's that. I mean, I'm just saying it's big business. So why do we have these underground networks all through the United States?
What in the actual fuck?
Yeah. So when people go missing, I mean, are they really missing, or are they going through these systems to where they're getting trafficked, or who knows? But there's a lot of ways to go missing.
I'm gonna just need everybody to just go ahead and get the fuck out of here.
Very controversial new Whole Foods in Washington, D.C. You have to scan to check in, you have to scan to check out, you have to scan to leave the checkout, and then you have to scan to leave the store.
We are eating people. We need to stop eating people. Like, we got to pay attention to what they're doing to us. Think about how often people die and how often funeral homes buy more land. You telling me that all of these people are dying, the same funeral homes have the same little patch of grass in their backyard and burying the whole neighborhood every year, years on years, and not expanding the land, not expanding the territory? No. They drop the body down, you cry, you go away, they throw a little bit of dirt on top, and then when you go, they take the body up, chop you up, sell the meat, and then polish, clean the casket off, and they resell the casket. And we getting fucked on death. We getting fucked going into debt, $10,000, $20,000 for caskets that they don't even go with your person.
Yeah, I'm trying to get cremated anyway.
Yeah, right. Get buried on your own land. Get buried on your own land.
Damn, bro.
And get a tax write-off, right? But even if they're not, like, say, eating, right, humans, even if not then, but even if they're just, taking the bodies out and, cremating them and doing who knows what with them, dumping them somewhere, like, that in itself is a crazy conspiracy. The food thing, eating, is like out of the roof. And we've seen a clip before how the CIA loves conspiracies because there's some that are so crazy that the ones that are true, they can just mark that off as people being crazy, like doing something with the ashes. But we say they're eating them, so they're like, man, they ain't doing that. Ain't nobody gonna believe. You know what I mean? So who knows?
You seen this?
Mm-hmm. It's my friend Isis.
That's her bed.
She's strong as fuck, bro.
She's strong.
Okay, hold on a second. Did you guys hear the new theory that I can't believe I missed, that I've never heard of this before? But it completely makes sense, and it is a little bit mind-blowing, and I'm sure there's going to be more that we can uncover. Oh, did you know? There's two brothers who make all these movies. Christopher Nolan and his brother, and then they have an older brother as well. So Christopher Nolan and his younger brother, they both are directors, producers. They make movies. They made Dark Knight, Interstellar, etc. Well, they also made Oppenheimer. Well, you may be thinking, what's their oldest brother do? Like, is he in the movie industry as well? No, he was accused by the Costa Rican authorities of being involved in a 2005 contract unaliving and allegedly used the alias Matthew McCall Oppenheimer, which came out in federal court documents that, yes, he had multiple fake identities and aliases, including Matthew McCall Oppenheimer. So what's the theory? That movies will be made with certain titles that make your Google searches go to that movie instead of, like if you type in Oppenheimer right now, you find out about this cool movie that was made, not the Oppenheimer contract. So then get this. You have the movie Frozen, Disney Frozen.
I just did
If
this.
you know
What was
that
it?
elite knowledge about what about Disney and being frozen, you'll have to, well, I'd say Google it, but that won't come up anymore, will it? Someone in the comments will comment it. Then we have the theory that they named the horse in Elden Ring Torrent so that when people Googled Elden Ring Torrent, it would cover up piracy results. The Captain America Winter Soldier movie. Now when you Google Winter Soldier movie, you get that instead of the documentary about U.S. atrocities in Vietnam. Taylor Swift. Did she go to a Jets game to cover up the trending negative press about her private jet use? So is this a thing that's going on? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below and follow for more.
I mean, it does. Like, I looked for Frozen, like the Walt Disney thing, and it does pop up Frozen. But you just got to get more deeper, like Walt Disney Hyper Chamber Frozen, and then all of those stuff will pop up. You know, so you just got to go a little deeper. You just can't type in Disney Frozen, and if you go a little deeper, you can find what you need to find. Right?
Grabbed in NFL football. It's huge. I can't even get my hands on it. I've got small hands for a fighter though, but it's huge. And then you look at the receivers. I went to a golf course in Florida, and when I walked up, it was Chris Carter from the Vikings.
This next clip out, y'all.
Dude's fingers were like all like broken and turned sideways because I said, "What happened to your hands?" He goes, "Catching footballs." Wow. From like all them great quarterbacks. Like when dudes that play with Brett Favre, their hands are tore up because he's throwing so hard that he's like knocking their fingers back and stuff.
Wow.
Can you believe that? Like trying to catch a football.
I can. It makes sense. I mean, if you catch one on the tip of your finger when you're trying to grab it and it gets yanked back.
And they got to throw it fast because these DBs are like whoever guarding you is so. There's like a short window to get it in there. Dude, it's nuts. Football's that's crazy.
Can you put your hands up, Jules, real quick?
Look at that.
Look at that pinky.
Look at that.
Lorenzo, can you put your hands up real quick?
Yes.
That's 90s football.
Hey, Julie, I can get.
I hate that. You messed up the plate on
Yes.
where it dislocates.
A little bit.
I had that on this one.
Dude, that finger's beautiful. Did you get the surgery?
I tried.
Well, that's why I won't do it.
I tried to, and it didn't work.
And it makes it stiff. And that's what they're like, because I can still move it.
I could get it into a fist, but look, I had that my whole
right. And if I did this one, it'll be. I don't want it stuck down.
No.
Would you rather say like that?
I'd rather
right?
have it up.
You can't get it up, huh?
The end.
I dislocated my pinky playing football. Right, it's a little crooked. Right, I had to get pins in my knuckles because my knuckle detached from. My finger detached from my knuckle. My finger was bent like this sideways, and it is bent. It's very weak. I tug it all the time, and one of these days I know I'm gonna break it. I just don't know when. It's gonna get stuck in a pocket when I go up or something because it is very, very weak.
NBA is the most
That's
scripted,
crazy, though, those
satanic
fingers.
shit there is. Of course, the guy that competed against LeBron James and was friends with LeBron James in high school just signed him to the 76ers. Of course that happened.
What?
LeBron wore 23 with the Cavaliers, 6 with the Heat, and wore 23 with the Lakers and 23 with the 76ers. That equals 76. And then the next report is that he's going to plan to live in New York City and use a helicopter to get from New York City to Philadelphia because it's only a 45-minute helicopter ride. After he broke the scoring record, or Kobe's scoring record in Philadelphia the night before Kobe passed. And the guy that he's known basically all his life is the one that signs him to come play for the 76ers.
So crazy, all this stuff.
Is the most scripted shit I've ever seen.
So crazy.
I do think they are the front runners to win the title. I think that is the gnarliest starting five I've seen, and it's very well balanced.
If this doesn't blow your mind, y'all, I don't know what will. There's just too many comparisons, too many numbers that just add up crazy. It just doesn't make sense. It's just mind blowing.
But yeah,
I know who cares about sports, but like think about that. It's conspiracy, y'all.
And
we just blew it into the atmosphere in San Francisco just to see if anybody would get sick. And lots of people got sick. 11 of them were sick enough that they happened to be to need hospitalization. And it turned out that they all suffered from the same rare respiratory infection. And the doctors are like, where the heck did this come from? Well, the CIA had it in a big tube and they were shooting it into the fog. And they did it in San Francisco because the fog is heavy and they knew that the fog would keep the germ close to the ground where people are breathing it in. And then the CIA said, you know what we should do? We should hire a whole bunch of prostitutes and rent a cat house, a safe house. And we get these prostitutes to bring Johns back to the cat house. And then we dose them with LSD and see if we can control their minds. These are American citizens. You can't just dose somebody with LSD. And so,
I mean, what happened to Bill Cosby for doing something like that? He got thrown under the jail, right? All these people that do that. Why are they allowed to get away with that? Why does the CIA still not being held accountable? He's exposing everything, but nothing's changing. I say this all the time.
ooh, let's see. Is he going to go crazy? Is he going to kill himself? Is he going to confess to, his deepest, darkest secrets?
Poor little kid.
But you've also heard a lot about portals. Well, let me show you two things that will hopefully change you, and get some players really excited about this game. Portals, I explained, are kind of holes in space, right, connecting different geometric areas. Here we have our intrepid character, Talon Brave, in the game. He's sort of in a bathroom with a gun. Don't ask why.
Imagine trying to explain modern gaming graphics to someone in 1998. Back then, consumer PCs were barely handling basic 3D environments. So the idea of rendering a real-time portal was considered completely impossible. In this vintage clip, a developer is sitting at a massive CRT monitor, showing off a tech demo from 3D realms that completely broke the rules of what hardware could do at the time. Watch the screen as the player fires a weapon. Instead of a bullet, it creates a glowing blue portal on the wall. The mind-blowing part happens when the camera looks through it. You can actually see the other side of the room rendering live. The player even walks straight through it, seamlessly teleporting across the map while the developer watches in awe. Gamers at the time thought this was black magic. The computational power required to render two different perspectives simultaneously was thought to be years away. This early prototype was a massive leap forward, laying the hidden groundwork for the portal mechanics that would eventually define legendary games a decade later.
Kind of ignore the level. It's just a little demo level, but it's really nice for showing this off. I drop something here, move over, face this way, drop it again, and I look around. I've dropped two things that look like little mines. Right. I activate it. Zoop. I've created a dynamic portal where I can actually see myself. And what gets even crazier here, you can shoot yourself. I can shoot myself and splatter my own blood on the wall.
It's a perfect snapshot of the exact moment gaming technology defied the limits of its era.
Oh my God, they're going to be cheating. Now I have no meta glasses. No glasses. Do it. Say that. Say meta.
Try to whisper it.
Meta solve 2x plus 3 equals 10. That's crazy.
Someone let me know down below, what do these meta glasses do? I thought all they did was record. I didn't know you can ask it questions and you get, I guess, in your ear, you can hear it whisper back or something. I just thought it was a camera. That was it. That's what I thought meta glasses were. Like you can record whatever. They got all that chat GPT and all that in there. Let me know down below. I know one of you guys got those Meta Ray-Bans or something. Let me know, what the heck do they do? I thought they were just cameras.
The first person I ever heard say that homeless people are the best dog owners. And the humans who are blind, dog is right next to them. A homeless people, dog in the back, right? So what are they doing right? Well, the dog is following them, right? They're in a follower state. And so the dog, the dog that lives with the blind is not allowed to get distracted because his purpose is to guide the blind. And the dog that lives with the homeless, he's not allowed to go in front. Consciously or unconsciously, the dog stays in the back. 9 out of 10 homeless people have a pit bull, and the dog is well behaved, off leash.
Right?
I
see a lot of them in my neighborhood. Well, this is Los Angeles. It's incredible.
Incredible, right?
Incredible.
But in Mexico, every single dog, in a third country, every single dog is off leash. So that's in America, the American dream for a lot of people is to have a dog walk off leash, because people pay a trainer to train their dog to be off leash.
LeBron James just signed with the Philadelphia 76ers today. This is like a Kobe ritual. Basically, Kobe Bryant was 41 years old when he passed away. Okay. And he was from Philadelphia. Okay. LeBron James is 41 years old, signing with Philadelphia. His chest tattoo origin is Philadelphia. When Kobe died, LeBron had just passed his scoring record. Yes. Kobe passed the torch to LeBron and then died. LeBron signed to Philly today. With today's date is the 24th. Facts. The 81st season of the NBA. Where was LeBron when he passed? Kobe scoring in LA. The whole reason for LeBron going to LA was setting LeBron up to wipe Kobe out from the beginning. One thing I always found strange was LeBron acted like he was real cool with Kobe, and he didn't go to his funeral. What? And he was being real sketchy about that. Michael Jordan's little brother was Kobe, and then Kobe gave it to LeBron. Why didn't nothing bad happen to Michael Jordan? Michael Jordan's still down with him. Michael Jordan ain't for the people. Michael Jordan tell you, I don't give a fuck about y'all. So it's no need to go after him. It's only when you want to buy ownership of the companies that is portraying the narrative, and you have enough money, power, and influence to actually combat these people is when you're a problem.
So y'all still ain't figured it out yet, huh? So somebody just left Cali and went all the way to the East Coast to play for the 76ers. But if you know, like I know, that somebody still has to make a sacrifice. And before he made a decision, he had to talk to his daughter. And I told you all what was coming for Cali. If you're in Cali, get the out now, okay? There's no way that King could stay in Cali with what's coming. But there is a way that that certain somebody would leave his family behind because he still hadn't made that sacrifice. Y'all remember that guy that was sitting on the sidelines, looking like a demon, looking up at him? He still has to pay. Not only does he have to pay, he got a lot to pay because he's been playing so long and they let him do everything that he's done. All right? A sacrifice must be made. Y'all got to remember the last star that played for the Lakers had a sacrifice, was sacrificed. But before that, he also had a scandal. You remember the graping charges? Y'all forgot about that, didn't you, LA? But no, Mamba had that. Now, LBJ doesn't want that. He still has to give up his sacrifice. And he needs his little ones to know that you get to stay over here in California where all of these earthquakes are happening, while I go over here to the East Coast. So don't be surprised. Don't be surprised, okay? Because I've already warned you what was coming to Cali. And I'm telling you that that certain somebody just left his family in Cali. His sacrifice has to be big. And it's not just going to be one. It'll be them both. But as always, TikTok, this is for entertainment purposes only. None of what I said is true. It's all facts. I just made it up. Fun stuff to talk about. Scripted. I told you. I'm trying to be a great producer like Spielberg. Only better.
Water shortages could be the biggest mass mortality event the world has ever seen. I am talking billions of people dying. The only way we ensure people remain safe is by being invested in the United States water reserve.
High-income countries like Australia, New Zealand, and the United States have the highest rates of cancer. Countries like Niger, Gambia, Nepal consistently rank at the very bottom. Why is that?
What do you guys think it is? My guess, the food. Let's see.
It's because of our technology. We are still Paleolithic man, and our biology has allowed us to store energy efficiently because of times of famine. But in diets and lifestyles and way we are today, exposure to carcinogens and whatever, we chronically damage this organelle. And you can elicit dysregulated cell growth as the result of that. This is what Albert Schweitzer found, the famous humanitarian physician. He was specifically looking for cancer in African tribes. Paleolithic man, our ancestors from 500,000 years ago, or modern men, like you said, in these countries, living according to traditional ways with minimal interference from modern diet and lifestyle issues, have lower amount of cancer in general. But what are these guys doing? Well, they have a lot of exercise. They're eating all organic foods. They're not under the same kind of stress or exposure to chemicals that modern societies have. If you can keep your mitochondria healthy, remarkably, it's extremely low.
Do you think stress, mitochondria, all that diet, y'all? You're eating clean, organic, whole foods, 1-2 ingredient foods. You're not going to be as stressed. Right? You don't get as stressed when you're eating those things. You don't get as stressed over the little things. When you're eating junk food and all that, everything bothers you. The door slams a little loud, it bothers you. Everything, right? That little stress adds up over time. It's the food, y'all. That's it. Bottom line, it's the food we're eating.
We will interact with relatives here on Earth after we pass. I'll give you a couple of examples that I've had just recently. My father died about 3 years ago. I had a very strong, good relationship with my father. When he passed, because I worked as a mechanic with him twice, I've come across a mechanical thing that I couldn't solve. So I literally just said, hey, Dad, how do I solve this problem? Boom, I get this clarity and see all you have to do is put the wrench on this direction. I know one exorcist whose mother was a very holy woman. And during his sessions, he'll actually call his mother down and say, hey, come down and be present to this. And the person who's possessed can see the mother.
I got a story like that. Not with a dead relative, but similar story to that. Knowledge came to me.
I linked
like
with
that.
this really, really big producer. He referred to himself in third. All demons refer to themselves in third person. Every really dark soul I've ever met does that. He wouldn't make eye contact with nobody. He moved funny, and he was just degrading every human that he came across and just speaking in ways that like it felt like a demon. There was definitely times where I'm like, oh, this is what they be talking about. And then you look around the room and it's almost like everybody's sedated. It feels like everybody is sedated and manipulated to the point where like they can't speak. As Mr. Independent, like I got invited to a lot of stuff. And so I would pull up, and a lot of stuff you can't post. Phones at the door, you cannot post. So I got invited to a lot of stuff here and there where like you go in, and that was always the vibe. It was like there's King Dingaling and their minions, and everyone else felt sedated. And you walk in full of life, and it's almost like, yo, tone it down. You don't understand. We're under the thumb right now. There was definitely times where like you walk in a room and you feel that. And for me, it was always just like, cool, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, gone.
Tonight to show just how much I care about the press. And I want to save your ratings. I'm pleased to announce my intention to, and this is somewhat of a scoop, my intention to run for a 4th term as President of the United States. I will be doing that. I will be having an official, in fact, I think I have, I won 3 times. Now I'm going to do it again. Thank you. I'm going to do it. Should be easy. I'm getting very good at running for president. No, I won 3 times, did very well the 2nd time, by the way. It's a rigged election, but we don't have to talk about it. When I'm gone, you're all going to be broke. Your business model is going to be finished.
We're all
No, it's
broke
true.
now, boy.
When I'm not around, you're going to be broke. There's not going to be anybody to report on. Nobody gives a damn about anybody else.
Crazy, y'all. But we got a clip coming up later of someone breaking down how easy it will be and how legal it will be for him to run for a 3rd term. Or 4th, as he says.
Okay, guys, so this is me and Lori. We're going to be testing out the blending powder because as you guys know, it's toxic.
What is this? Something new at Starbucks? It's all over TikTok.
Bro, you're going to get cancer.
She's fired though if she's exposing something, because this video had millions of views.
Stinks so bad.
I don't know what this stuff is though. In the dirty sink? Black coffee, light heavy whipping cream. That's all I get at Starbucks.
This is what y'all are eating whenever y'all get
building catches fire and something like 81 people died. And the FBI tried to say, well, they committed, just like at Jonestown, they set themselves on fire rather
Blocked
than come
out,
out here. I have
died,
talked
but
to a
not
survivor
Sugi.
of Waco, and he said that's not what happened at all.
What did he say?
He said the government tried to kill us, and he said I ran out of the burning house and I felt bullets whizzing past me. And so they were trying to kill us. And the FBI has said that's absolutely not true. We never fired into the house. And instead of just showing up and doing a search warrant, normally the ATF decided to show up in force. They brought 2 truckloads of guys with black body armor and stuff. The first thing they did was they shot all their dogs. So they all shot back. So there's this big shootout. The Branch Davidians actually win that shootout. The ATF retreats. And then there's this 51-day siege that ends in this big fire. So this is just what cults do. Like, cults just commit mass. If you actually look at them closely, though, you know, none of these religions began and said, one day we're going to commit, right? Several things went wrong in each of these cases, right?
The thing that scared me the most is when I saw the mask go on. He was about to go do an interview. I think it was for Biography. He was just on a tirade, you know, one of his sort of, you know, I called them the narcissistic rants of just berating everybody. Whenever he had to get ready for something, for some sort of event or interview, when he had to put his persona, makeup and everything on, it was guaranteed that it was going to be a bad night for everybody. So I ended up locking myself in the bathroom anytime that ever happened. And I locked myself in the bathroom so much that I decorated it.
Wow. Well, while you were locked in?
Well, just because I knew I would spend so much time in there.
Jesus, man.
So I strung lights and I had music in there, and like, because and he would be so just seeing red that sometimes he would barely even notice that I wasn't there, you know. And so if you were out of sight, you know, it's like a dinosaur. If you don't move, you can't see us if we don't move. That's how it would feel. And so I locked myself in the bathroom, and he was going off, and he would wreck things, and he would wreck the house, and he would yell at people.
What does the final battle look like? The human beings' morals will implode so badly, and there'll be wars and rumors of wars and all this other stuff to such a degree. At that point, the Antichrist shows up and presents himself as the solution to human beings' problems, and he gains significant control over the human population. When he shows up on the scene, then there's kind of stages that actually start to happen. There's still battling that's kind of going on a spiritual level. But then Enoch and Elijah show up. They're put to death by the Antichrist. Then at a certain point, St. Michael shows up. He battles with the Antichrist, but he doesn't actually put the Antichrist to death. And in the end, Christ is the one who shows up and puts the Antichrist to death.
So I was recently in India a couple weeks ago, and I saw something there that was the most impressive thing I've seen with my own two eyes. It's called the Bahubali statue. I have photos in the India folder. It's 1,000 tons. So it's as big as the biggest destroyed structures, or the biggest destroyed statues in Egypt, but it's still standing. It's in India. It's on top of a mountain. It's made of granite. That's a person.
Whoa.
At the bottom of it.
No. Holy shit.
Like, what do you mean in 3 weeks I am to take my 5-year-old, which is still a baby, by the way, drop her off in a building full of complete strangers, people she's never met in her life. I'm just supposed to drop her off and leave her there and not hear anything about her the whole day, and then pick her up 7 to 8 hours later, and then I'm supposed to do this 5 days a week. Like, what do you mean? Like, how is this not illegal? This should be illegal, because what? This doesn't make sense to me.
She got over 5,000 comments of people on her neck saying she isn't a baby. We all went through it. She made a follow-up video saying that her 5-year-old is completely dependent on her for everything. And people are saying, is she dependent on you, or are you really dependent on her? Just a whole bunch of discourse about this one topic. And I'm actually going through this right now myself. We sat and thought about this for a while. Oldest turns 4 in literally a week and a half. So she meets the deadline to start school this year. And we were debating between public school or homeschool. We decided on homeschool. And it's not for the same reasons which she listed off, the fact that I'll be dropping her off for, 8 hours of the day and then she's going to be... It's not for that, because we all went through that and we turned out fine, most of us at least. It's the fact that I don't want y'all badass kids rubbing off on my kids. I see how y'all kids act at the park. It's quite evident that the majority of parents with kids my age aren't actually parenting their kids. They're just giving them iPads, or they're just scrolling on their phones all day and letting Miss Rachel raise them. I feel as though if this was like how it was back in the day before the era of like immediate technology where we didn't have these freaking computers in our hands at all times, I would have no issue at all whatsoever sending my kid to public school. I'm not finna send my kid to...
Real quick, they had the same problems back then. It was just different. Watching television, reading the paper all day, right? It's just a different technology now. But these things were always going on. It's not just because it's just our time. This is how our time is. But these same distractions were even back then. I'm sure all my older people out there, you guys had distractions too.
Public school with y'all bad-ass kids, the teachers that are currently underpaid and underappreciated. I'm just not doing it. I'm not doing it. Me personally, I'm not doing it. Mine will be homeschooled. They will be in extracurricular activities. She starts soccer in literally 2 months. We're going to be doing field trips. She has a bunch of friends her age. At the end of the day, she isn't a baby anymore. At the same time, she is still at a very impressionable age. And I refuse to have any of these bad-ass kids rub off on her. This early in her development. I refuse.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, that's a scary thing for me, and I just picture what I went through in school and just can't imagine. It's going to be a hard day if that day comes. I would like to go the homeschool route. And you see comments, well, how are they going to socialize? And people respond like through everyday things that we deal with, grocery stores, at the park with random people, all kinds of sports, not only sports, extracurricular, chess, debate. I'm sure they got all that stuff for kids that don't go to school still, y'all. But school, there is a lot of, if you look around when you're at the grocery store, just in the checkout aisle, just see parents with their kids, and it's just it's scary. It's a scary thing, y'all. It's a scary thing.
This is bullshit.
I think ways to go.
We don't have the technology to get to the moon. I don't think there's any point in getting to the moon, and I think that China and America are working very closely to create this illusion of the space race. China gets a lot of technology and science from America. And, obviously China sees this as a way, as a form of national propaganda of trying to rally the people in a time of economic malaise. But I don't think they'll get back to the moon, okay?
The internet has been sounding off about this viral image of Oklahoma City. That's supposedly proof that Oklahoma City is just one giant parking lot. The thing is, this isn't Oklahoma City. It's like a highly edited photo of Oklahoma City because, yeah, there are a lot of parking lots, and this does get that point across. But it is surprising that people believe this because, who's going to park their car 25 blocks on the outskirts of the city to go downtown? That's a haul. But also, there is truth to this because in the 1970s, Oklahoma City demolished over 500 historic buildings in the urban core to make room for parking lots. So talk about just forget the people, power to the cars. It all started, post World War II where, everyone's feeling the automobile. They're moving out to the suburbs because now they can drive. And in order to get people to still come downtown, they needed to make way for cars, parking, make it more accessible for cars. No one's walking anymore because they're so excited about the automobile. And that's greatly shaped today why the US has over 2 billion parking spaces. That is 6 spaces per car. How lame is that for America? Aren't we supposed to make cities more walkable, not parkable? So that's why today, Oklahoma City is known to have an unusually high ratio of parking lots to buildings. But look, a lot has changed in OKC since the 90s. They have been putting a lot of investment into urban spaces, parks, things for people. So this image and a lot of images from the 80s don't reflect the reality today of OKC.
The era of birthday parties and barbecues and get-togethers is dying. It's going to die, and nobody's doing it anymore. And you want to know why? Because nobody fucking shows up. Nobody shows up. You have a birthday party for your kid, and you spend so much time planning it, spending so much money on food, decorations. You send out the invitations, you remind them once, you remind them twice, you fucking create a Facebook event and remind them again, and guess what? You spend all that money and nobody shows up. Last year, I had a birthday party for my kid. Dude, I had a fucking petting zoo there. A petting zoo, a bounce house, it was circus themed, it was awesome. I invited everyone from her class, reminded them multiple times. And I got, oh yeah, we should be there, we'll be there. One kid showed up. Out of 23 students, one. And I can't even tell you how many family members didn't show up. That's why we're not doing anything anymore. Because you guys are fucking losers.
I mean, out here in Arizona, like, that's dead, y'all. It happens a little bit, but it's pretty dead. Everyone just gets together with their media. El Paso, like I always say, they're stuck in the 80s, y'all. They're way behind out there. Birthday parties are popping out there. It's in the culture of the Mexican people, right? And we got something coming up a little later about Mexican culture, right? But we'll get into that later. But it's dead out here in Arizona. But, you know, out there in El Paso, you know, we got the carne asadas popping off every weekend, y'all.
Blown away. Literally blown away. Blown away. Still to this day. I don't think it happened. Don't think it happened.
Did anyone notice any changes in Chris's behavior?
No, not that someone killed him. Someone killed him.
You do think that? Why?
There's too much
stone cold
evidence proving the evidence wrong.
Man, this all got to be part of the ritual. You're telling me LeBron signs to Philadelphia, the place where Kobe was born, on the 24th, Kobe Bryant's number, to end his career. Did you also know that LeBron passed up Kobe Bryant on the all-time scoring leaderboard in Philadelphia a day before Kobe died? And this is happening on the 81st season of the NBA, which is Kobe Bryant's scoring record. These numbers are just getting way too weird.
Canelo just said that Mexican Americans are not Mexican. And now everybody is arguing because Mexican Americans were thinking that they were Mexican this entire time and that there was no difference. But chat, let's talk about it all in this video. To me, raza is raza, but Canelo is one of the most influential Mexicans of all time. He just told the other guy that was interviewing him that David Benavidez is not Mexican. He's just Mexican American. And he also split up these categories, saying that he's Mexican, but Ryan Garcia and David Benavidez and these other boxers are just Mexican American. I'm gonna just keep it a stack with you guys, bro. Whenever I was working construction for like 8 years, I vividly remember that the Mexicans, the fools that I was kicking it with, did not like the Chicanos at all because they didn't consider them real raza and because the two just didn't really get along. There was clearly a divide right there. Like if they were two totally different people, even though they looked exactly the same. I'm gonna just say, I personally feel like there's a big agenda right now to split up all the Mexicans and make sure that everybody doesn't stay united. Notice how they're splitting up Mexicans from Mexican Americans, no sabos to si sabos, and so on and so forth. You guys are seeing it. We're all seeing it in 4K. And chat, I just gotta say my piece about it. But chat, what do you guys think about this one? Let me know and drop a comment.
Mexican Americans didn't say other Mexican Americans ain't Mexican. I can call my lady in here right now and ask her, am I Mexican? She's going to say, no, you ain't Mexican. Right? Like, why? Just because this and that? Just because this and that? Right? What's that got? I'm more Mexican. In my mind, I'm more like, I think all races do it. You know what I mean? I don't know if like white people do it. Do you guys say like, you're not white? You know what I mean? But Mexicans, like, of course, the Mexican people in Mexico, they know right away, even in El Paso and Juarez, which is right across the street from each other, they know if you're not from Juarez. They can tell like that, right? They just know. Even if you speak Spanish, even if your parents are from there, even if, you know what I mean, they just know. But I get people all the time tell me I'm not Mexican, right? I'll probably get some comments, you're not, bro. You know what I mean? That's just what we do, y'all. It's annoying. Like, who gives a damn? Who cares? You know what I mean? Who cares at the end of the day? Right? Like, what does that got to do with anything? But they love to make you feel that way. I'll tell you that.
Are you familiar with Wyclef Jean's Mermaid?
I don't even look at people like that when I see somebody like, oh, that's not a real Mexican. Like, that doesn't even cross my mind. I don't even have barriers in my mind like that, judging people like that. You know what I mean? But most of the people out there, you know, some of us are lovers. Most of us are haters, y'all. Most of the people out there are haters. There's not many lovers out there. There's not many of them.
Situation.
No, I never have.
Right. Now, he have a story where he was speaking about he encountered a mermaid, like he dated the mermaid, but in the video, you know, like they was clowning him and wouldn't let him get the story off. What's the lady that be recording with them, with the Fugees?
Lauryn Hill.
Lauryn Hill's in the video. Let me see if I can find it for you. And they be scrubbing this video from the internet, which I think is pretty suspicious. And I'm bringing this up because, you know, I got a real trusted source. Okay. And all my sources, I make sure I vet them properly before I ever bring it up. He had emailed me and he had told me that he has been having experiences in a certain marina where people dock boats. And, you know, he have a canoe and he have another boat. Now, he said one time something reached on his boat and tried to capsize him. But he was hearing weird sounds before that, and he keeps a little weapon on him and he stabbed the arm or whatever this creature was, and then let his boat go. Now, he told me he tied a camera to an anchor and let it fall down so he could try to get footage of this creature as it comes through the marina. He said that it would peel off like the barnacles and stuff off boats and eat them. This is what he's telling me. So when he showed me the video is 18 years old. And a lot of people, while I showed it to, they say, well, that's not CGI.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So what you think about it?
Well, it can't be CGI. It can't be AI.
Video.
You know what I mean?
It's 18 years old video.
I would get rats addicted to alcohol, and I could stimulate them to get addicted or to instantly stop their addiction to alcohol based on a fear response with my fiber optic cable. Okay? And this research was literally funded by the military. And this was right before the time I'd come to know the Lord. So the irony is, I both became obsessed with modeling Elon Musk, and in doing so, I came to also realize, oh my goodness, my dreams of working at Neuralink are actually that is the worst technology, that is the most evil thing that is humanly possible.
Professional sports are scripted, but not in the way that you think. Now, I'm not talking about match fixing or dodgy referee decisions. I'm talking about character templates that are consistently reappearing across different sports, different cultures, different audiences, countries, and across multiple decades. I've shown you LeBron James, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Lewis Hamilton. 3 GOAT-level athletes, all dominating their respective sports in ways that we've never seen before, all born within a 37-day window of each other. I showed you R9 and Shaq, 2 oversized cheat codes who were moving way too fast for their size, who many people thought would have become the greatest of all time if it wasn't for that one fatal flaw. Both of their careers ended in 2011. That same year, at 19 years old, we had 2 of the most skilled players in their sports, Neymar and Kyrie Irving, burst onto the scene. I've shown you Lionel Messi and Stephen Curry, Ronaldinho and Magic Johnson, KDB and Jokic. If you can't begin to see a pattern, then I don't know what you're smoking. Because how many coincidences do you need before it's no longer a coincidence? 1 comparison can be random. 2 can be a coincidence. But when you see repeated character archetypes, repeated career arcs, repeated flaws, breakdowns, handovers, and so many different things across different sports, different countries, different timings, you have to begin to ask yourself, is this random or is this a sequence that I'm not noticing the pattern in? If I show you the number 5, it doesn't mean much to you. If I show you the number 5 and 10, you can begin to make a guess. But if I show you 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and 35, your brain starts to already look at the pattern and why it's going up in multiples of 5. So why do we allow our brains to recognize patterns in numbers, but refuse to recognize them in stories? You see, most people miss the pattern because they're zoomed in on one match, one player, one moment, or one scoreline. But when you take a step back, you can see that dots actually start connecting. And when you see that these different sports keep producing the same character templates, the same story arcs, same rivalries, storylines, handovers, and all of these different things, the question you shouldn't be asking yourself anymore is, are sports scripted? The question you should be asking is, who keeps putting these stories in front of me? And what are they trying to get into my mind?
Watch this. Okay, man. Stand there, yeah. Okay, 183.2. Stay there, don't move. Zag.
Is that Epstein as a kid?
This is vertical. 0.1 centimeters. And now we're going to measure him horizontally. Okay. You ready?
Yes.
Okay.
That's Epstein, y'all.
Okay. 185.7. Stay where you are. 185.7. I'm sure I want to first make the subtraction, right? Oh, that is 5. That is 2.5 plus or minus 0.2 centimeters. You're about 1 inch taller when you sleep than when you stand up. My grandmother was right. She's always right.
This is so.
There you go, fellas. You're in that market. Just say on your dating profile, I'm 5'11", but 6 foot laying down. And that's what matters. You know what I'm saying?
Interesting, because I've never thought about how when we stand up, gravity is constantly pulling on us, especially our back and the disc in between the back. And it can literally compress those enough that you actually get smaller throughout the day. So you wake up at your tallest. So when you're laying down, like he says in this video, when you're laying down, obviously gravity is not pulling down on your spine and on the disc. It's pulling down on your whole body. When you stand up, it starts pulling vertically downward, so you actually can get smaller. So also what makes this interesting is astronauts, when they spend a bunch of time up on the International Space Station or just in space, gravity is not constantly pulling on them because obviously there is not as much gravity up there. So when they spend time up there, they literally can get taller from the time they leave Earth to the time they return. And it's neat to know that if you want to be a little bit taller, measure yourself right when you stand up after sleeping for a while compared to in the evening. If you measure yourself right before you lay down, you've been standing up all day, so you might literally be an inch shorter.
I met the devil, 100 miles. You start in the morning and you finish at noon the next day. And if you don't finish, you're out. I said, I'm not taking a pacer with me. I'm going to go it alone in the woods at the middle of the night. And it's dark. And you're on this trail in Arkansas in the forest, national forest. The rocks have clocks in them and gears turning.
Oh, you're full on.
I'm seeing animals. I look in the woods and I see somebody, a person, you know. Every negative scenario that I had been in, and I was the perpetrator of the bad thing, came back to me in vivid memory. Things I had said to exes when I was mad, or, you know, like played on a video screen like I was in it in a way I've never experienced before or since. Seeing weird, scary things is not as scary as your own memories of horror, of things that you're regretting and guilt. That if they were played before an audience, there I'm in the middle of the woods, nobody around to verify the reality of this.
Did you stop?
I couldn't stop. I had to keep going. You're in the middle of the woods. You got to get out. You know, there's these light sticks that you're trying to get to. And I remember I got to one, it was strung across on a string and I couldn't perceive depth. I had to crawl under it. And it was probably 10 feet in the air.
You know, they don't sleep, y'all. They'll go 3 days and sleep 15 minutes in those 3 days. You know, there's videos on. I love watching ultra runners. Their little documentary of them running, and there's people that saying every step I take right now is a rattlesnake. Just trail is full of rattlesnakes. Or people saying a lot of them see jaguars, you know, jaguars in a hammock, somebody playing the cello outside, like, and they're just in the middle of the woods. The trees got faces, and they're talking to them when they're running. And these barriers go down, y'all, with no sleep deprivation and exhaustion from running hundreds of miles. You know, those barriers. So, you know, are they really out there? Are trees really talking to you when you're going? That's why they say hug a tree. And when you walk barefoot, you can feel the energy. And, you know, that's all real stuff when your barriers in your mind start going down.
The world is on edge. When you look outside, this crap that you see cannot be maintained. And AI is not getting ready to change that. It's going to make it worse.
Absolutely.
Because any level of technology, look at all of the technology that has been introduced up until this point.
Come on.
It made things better, but it also made men more evil.
Ooh.
So now you're getting ready to watch this. Now you're getting ready to institute the highest level of technology. Why? Because we're getting ready to operate in the highest level of evil, which is the Antichrist.
Oh my gosh.
I'm being totally honest with you. I'd be very surprised if nothing happened in 2027. That Messiah 2030, that messed me up because you can't argue with it, because that man used scriptures that you, like you said, that man used scripture, and it's a part 1, a part 2, and a part 3. That man used scriptures that some of them I saw, but I'm like, every scripture is like this? It's ridiculous. I mean, I think the first one he used like 25, 28 scriptures. to prove the same point over and over again. 3 and 7, 3 and 7, 3 and 7. And I was just sitting like,
the parallel between creation, the 6 days, and then the rest. And then
I went down the Cabbage Patch doll theory here on TikTok, and I'll explain more, but this is an old birth certificate that I have of my Cabbage Patch doll. And I decided to go ahead and put the thumbprint and footprint into ChatGPT, and look what they said. They basically said that this is a real thumbprint. It's not fake, and it can't be authenticated into this fake thumbprint or footprint. And I guess my questions would be, where did it come from? Because Cabbage Patch dolls are not real.
Larry Johnson, Kansas City Chiefs running back, who was once close with Jay-Z, has a lot of things to share on his podcast with Jason Whitlock about Diddy and Jay-Z and LBJ. Y'all must see. He telling y'all everything is spiritual. Hey, Larry Johnson, enlighten us all.
Crack Jay-Z's business habits. They're always for somebody else. They're never for him or his pockets only. It's always for somebody else. Even his own music career. When he signed, 2 360 deals with Roc Nation, and everybody knows those 360 deals, it puts the artist in perpetual slavery. That means everybody has a hand in your pocket, whether you tour, whether you show up and do promotions, autograph signings, the company takes a piece of you. So what LeBron is really saying is that he's mirroring being used as a whore. I don't want to use that terminology, but that's what it is when it comes to black entertainment. Somebody else is taking his money out of his pockets. Now, mind you, they could boast that they're billionaires. I think that's just flavor, so all young African Americans can aspire to have their money taken from them and also have their brand and their image used however they want to be used. Now, there is really no real businesses that go on with Jay-Z and LeBron. I mean, not real business. Like, real business is done with people who don't need partners, who don't need people in your pockets, don't need to tell people, hey, you can't have your hair like this. You got to look like this.
Bring it down.
If you look at LeBron's people, like Maverick and Rich Paul, go to an article in GQ 2019. You'll see an article about Rich Paul that he is the broker of the year, and he's sitting in a chair with his thumbs in a pyramid. Now, if you can connect the thumbs in a pyramid to Jay-Z hands in a pyramid to LeBron's pyramid at the New York Yankees stadium tour or concert, you know it's all based on somebody being controlled by an organization. And the only way you can get successful is being controlled. That's the only way. I have not seen a billionaire need to throw up hand signals. I've never seen a successful athlete needing to throw up different hand symbols before a game and giving homage to somebody who's predicted to lose in the scriptures. Like, it doesn't make sense. So anything that comes from that, out of showing that symbolism, it's not really successful. So I can understand why people call him his big brother, because you're saying that you are yoked to somebody. You're in a covenant with somebody. That's what that really means. I mean, just like his school isn't doing really well. It's not educating young black kids. They can't seem to pass tests. And one of it they struggle with is math. So, like I said, you follow the breadcrumbs of this occult and know their closeness with children. It already sets Jay-Z back a little bit, because this is like the umpteenth time that I'm hearing him around 16-year-olds or 15-year-olds or teenagers, not just males and not just females, but now males. So him saying that he's been his big brother since 16 sounds like what P. Diddy was to Usher. Justin Bieber.
Usher did.
Justin Bieber. Wow.
American vs. European.
Chicken.
Eggs. Strawberry.
Is this the one that lives?
He's an American.
Yeah, he's an American. He lives in California.
He's from Santa Ana, California.
Yeah.
He's an American. So an American is the head of the biggest cartel organization in Mexico right now. So
it's American dream.
So it's just like just people wrap their head around it. He's from Santa Ana, California. He's the head of the New Generation Cartel now, according to a lot of people. And then you have, Archibaldo and his brother, the last remaining sons of El Chapo Guzman, who are basically on the run right now. The government is really going after them and if you're an outsider looking at that from the outside, you say, like, why are they going after the Chapitos specifically and so hard? That's probably because they view them as collaborators for the Americans in a lot of ways because of what they did with Omayo. So that's an interesting thing to kind of think about. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's an interesting way of thinking about it. They're pretty much on the run. A lot of
That's so interesting, though, because it's like on the one hand, Mexico and the government's like, please help us. And then on the other hand, but don't do it with a terrorist designation.
But don't do it with the people that pay for our
That's
campaigns.
Right. There, it's like a Game of Thrones in 6 different directions.
Yeah.
All together.
So there's not a lot of them left, and you see this shift that the United States has, and now the eye of Sauron is pointed at the politicians.
You think Trump will get a third term? Isn't that constitutionally illegal?
Trump getting a third term is not illegal. So let me explain the loophole.
He loves his loopholes.
What Trump could do is this. Okay, there are 2 possibilities. The first possibility is in 2028, he has his son, Don Jr., run as the president, and he runs as the vice president. And then when Don Jr. wins, if he wins, then Don Jr. could abdicate, and Trump would be the president. And in the Constitution, you read the Constitution very carefully, it doesn't actually prohibit people from doing that. It's not been done in the past. And like no sane person with any morality would do this. But that doesn't stop Trump from doing this, okay? That's one possibility. Another possibility is that by 2028, America is at war with everyone. There's a national draft. The president now has emergency war powers. And so he can actually suspend the Constitution and delay the election, which is what Zelensky did in Ukraine. So these are 2 different possibilities. But I think that given Trump's track record, given his personality, I think he very much wants a third term. And I think that he will do everything possible to get a third term.
I don't know. I don't wish this on nobody, but I think if that it came to that, the powers that be would do something about it. Step in, John F. Kennedy style, right? They won't allow that. They won't allow that, y'all. There's no way, right? But anyways, y'all, hope you guys enjoyed today's video. It seems like you guys liked yesterday's video of the country, the 50 state conspiracy compilation. So maybe we'll do something similar to that on an upcoming video. I'll probably do a poll in my community post and ask you guys what you would like to see, like a deep dive on the music industry, a deep dive on the food industry, a deep dive on something, y'all. So we'll get into that. Maybe start doing some like true crime reactions. Maybe we can start doing something like that. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. You made it this far, leave a like, comment, subscribe. I'm gonna see you guys on the next one. This is Segovia signing out of the man cave. I'll see you then. Later.